Hi, this is Jen Snyder Gibson, and we're coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina at the Brand Builder Studios with the Breakfast Club Beat. Wow. Hello.
Hello, Jen.
Miss Dena Diorio.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, by the way. This is so much fun.
Oh, this is so much fun for me, too. I love when my friends can come on. This is awesome.
Well, I'm sure we have a lot of great things to talk about.
Well, you know, when you decided to tell us you were going to retire, it's like, oh, you're leaving us. And I'm like, no, don't leave. But I had to make sure that you came on and got a chance to be part of the podcast before you went into like fun vacation life.
Well, I will always come back to do anything for you. Just because I'm retiring from my job does not mean I'm not going to be around and in the community and doing a lot of great things. So
I know. I love that because you're going to be you'll be an official Breakfast Club member in our little retirement group that we've got.
You know what? I was going to ask you about that because I've heard about it and people love it. So we're in for sure.
Totally. I already have you down for starting in July.
Perfect.
I love it. So how have you been?
I've been great. Just trying to finish up work, finishing the budget. You know, we have a new county manager who was announced last week. So now trying to work with him, transitioning him into the role. And I think he's going to be great. Mike Bryant, I've known him for the whole time I've been here, 18 years. He's a great guy, super smart, has a nice way about him. So he's going to be fantastic. So I'm really happy that the county's going to be in good hands.
I love that. So you've been here 18 years.
I have.
That is 18. That's crazy. I've known you that long.
I've lived here longer than I lived when I was in Connecticut. Like I've lived here a really long time. So this is really home for me now. So
I know.
I love
Don't
it.
you just love Charlotte?
Oh, I do. It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I remember when we went to London last May and I asked you if you were ever going to leave Charlotte. You're like, nope, this is it.
Well, first of all, I'll never get my husband out of here because he's been here since 1986. And so if it's home for me after 18 years, it is totally home for him.
Totally home for him.
But we're just so happy here. We love the people. We love where we live. And Charlotte's got everything. There's nothing you can want for when you live in Charlotte.
No, I agree. Yeah. And then you can get everywhere so fast.
Well,
because of like our friends like Tracy at the airport that have everything going so we can get on a direct flight everywhere.
Well, with your frequent flyer miles now, you can probably go anywhere in the world with all your travel.
Yeah, I know. I was telling you, the flight was so crazy today coming in with the storm. Lord, flying never phases me. Today, when you have your flight attendant tell you where the puke bags are, you're like, oh,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was very interesting coming in today. So I'm glad I'm here.
Well, I'm glad you're here too. And like I said before, I'm glad that didn't cancel you because I would have been sure that your flight would have got canceled.
Yeah, I thought we were going to cancel for sure. So nope, I'm here. You're stuck with me.
I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad. I've been looking forward to this all day.
Me too. Thank you. So how long ago did you make the decision it was time to retire?
Well, I told my board in August that it was my time to go, but I had been thinking about it for probably a year or so before that. My plan when my husband was alive was for me to retire when I was 61. And then when he passed away, I didn't want to retire at that point. So it's always been part of my plan for a while. But once I turned 62, I knew that it was time for me to go.
And I know that you are very excited about being able to do lots of fun traveling now, too.
I am. We've got a bunch of things planned. We're going to be traveling. We have a bunch of beach trips planned for July and for August. I think I have a trip to Vegas maybe in September.
I think we're going there.
Which I'm excited about. And then in October, we're doing a river cruise on the Danube, which is our first big European trip in retirement. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, yeah, because isn't that trip falling when our little travel cruise going to Canada and you were going to be gone?
Yes. I hate to miss that, by the way.
I know.
I hate to miss that.
It's weird to travel without you in our little group.
Well, I know, but I know there's more. There'll be more. There'll be more.
Most definitely.
Once we got our groove on in London, we knew that this was something that we'd always have to be doing.
So I have to tell everyone just a fun side of Dena in London that I love. So Darius and my husband and the whole crew, they'd had a show. We all went out to London, and you had, was it a Hootie and the Blowfish t-shirt? Was
I did.
And tell me again, what did it say on it? Because I don't remember.
It just said Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh, that was it. Okay,
yeah.
It didn't have the name of a song or anything. And after the show, I love you, and you're just dancing at the bar and having Darius sign your shirt. It was so fun. You were like, "Here's my Sharpie."
Well, and then, I got that shirt at a concert, a Hootie concert in Connecticut, Danbury, Connecticut, at Ives Concert Park. So this was probably 25 years ago. And I said, "Don't you remember the concert at Ives Concert Park in Danbury, Connecticut?" And he's like, "I do a lot of these, so no, I don't really remember that." But I would have sworn he would have remembered that venue.
You were like, "What? I don't remember a show 25 years ago." I love that.
But he was very kind about it, so it was fun.
Oh no, he loved it. He loved having us all over there. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a really good time. So let's talk about Mecklenburg County.
Okay.
And you've been here. Obviously, you said 18 years. You've been a part of so many historic things in our area. If you had to pick out one or two that you're so proud of and that really put your stamp on, what would those be?
Well, I think one that, and I talk about this one a lot because it does really mean a lot to me, is the creation of our MEC pre-K program, which is our universal pre-K program here in Mecklenburg County for 4-year-olds. It's free for all children, and there's no income requirement. And we've done that on purpose because we really want to have classrooms that are mixed income. We don't want to concentrate poverty in one place. So,
Yes.
So we have 1,800 kids a year that go through that program. We've educated about 8,000 since we started the program.
Wow.
And I'm really excited about the opportunity for the county when I'm gone to continue that program, number one, but to continue to expand it so more kids have an opportunity to take advantage of that. So I don't think people realize that, when you're 4 years old, you need to go to school just like when you're 5 years old, and you learn a lot when you're 4. So I'm really, really proud of what we've been able to accomplish there. And I think just overall, Mecklenburg County as an organization, I'm just really proud of what we've transformed into being. We're a high-performing organization. We believe in accountability and transparency, high level of service, and that wasn't necessarily the case when I came to Mecklenburg County, so I feel like we're a much stronger organization, and I think we're more relevant. I don't think we were really relevant when I first came here, and I think now people look to the county to be a partner. They look for us being at the table, and I'm not sure that was necessarily the case when I first got here.
I think your leadership, you got the right people on the bus. And you've got a great team.
I have an amazing team, and I'm so thrilled that the next county manager is a member of my team, which,
Absolutely.
I have great bench strength, and that's your job as a leader, is to make sure that you build the bench strength and that you can have that succession planning and that continuity in the organization. And so
It's part of your legacy.
it really is. And I do have an amazing team. I think I'm incredibly fortunate to have 4 really talented people who work with me every day to get the work done, because I don't do it by myself. You need strong people around you.
What do you think are, as you're getting ready to exit out, what do you think are some of the toughest challenges facing Mecklenburg County right now?
Well, I think one, sort of on a local level, affordable housing continues to be, I think, one of our biggest challenges. And I think it's something that I think everybody knows it's a nationwide problem. It's not just a Mecklenburg County or North Carolina problem. And so trying to figure out and solve for that is going to be an ongoing challenge. But I do feel very a little worried about what's happening at the federal level right now. I think
Took my next question.
the cuts that are happening there. We haven't really felt anything here locally yet, but I do
What
feel.
could you see coming?
Well, I think one thing for sure is, we've seen on the school side, CMS has already received notification of getting some cuts, and so that puts more pressure on local funding here to try to make sure that they have the resources that they need. But quite frankly, we don't have the money to replace federal cuts. So what does that mean for the education system?
Do you think that could play in, do you think some cuts could play into the pre-K program that you were able to get going?
No, because ours is locally funded,
Okay.
so we don't have to worry about that from a federal funding perspective. But I do think there's potential funding cuts coming down on the environmental side, EPA. There's been a lot of talk about that. There's also been talk about things happening at Health and Human Services, which is really our bread and butter, public health, child abuse, all those things, domestic violence, all those services that we provide. Medicaid cuts potentially would really be devastating to this community.
Absolutely.
So all of those things are concerning to me, and I can't tell you how many people have said to me, "You really picked the right time to go." Because it'll be somebody else's problem to try to solve for. But I do get worried about that. And then I get worried about, the state how they're going to react to that and what does that mean for us locally, because all of our federal funding flows through the state. And so how do they react to those cuts and those changes and what the potential impact will be here locally?
When the hurricanes happened this past October, and we got the opportunity to have Josh Stein come in right before the election and speak with our members. It was actually a week before the election. And he was fantastic. I loved getting some time with him, but I really loved also just his commitment to the state and what he really wants to really be actively involved in making sure that people are not left behind in Asheville.
Well, and it's so important, and the feedback that I've heard sort of anecdotally for people that sort of hang out in Raleigh is that he's really starting to build good relationships with the General Assembly, the leadership of the General Assembly, which is really critical in making sure that doesn't happen. And so I give him a lot of kudos for being able to do that.
We're actually working on a project with his office that will be coming up next year. Can't quite say what it is yet, but I know you're going to be there.
I absolutely will be there. And I really, I liked Governor Stein when he was the Attorney General and worked really closely with his team on the big opioid settlement that we were able to negotiate. And his team was so instrumental in making sure that those opioid dollars flow, the vast majority of them, 85% of those dollars flow directly to local government, which is we're the only place in the country. What was that
dollar amount? Do you even remember?
Well,
exactly?
We're getting $72 million over 18 years. So,
wow.
Yeah. And so as opposed to a lot of other states where a lot of that money went to the state to figure out how to spend it, the majority of that money is going to local government here in North Carolina because we know best how to deploy those dollars. So his team working with us to make that happen was really incredible.
You made me just think of something completely off topic, but my husband's in recovery, and we actually got a call last summer from a group in Kansas City, Missouri, and they had gotten their opioid dollars, and part of those dollars was attached to some recovery centers in bringing some speakers in to do some events. And we went out there and we did this really powerful day where we got to spend with 700 people that were either in recovery or the family members of people in recovery. And Quentin and I have talked several times about that particular event being so impactful. And if it wasn't for the opioid dollars coming in, they might not have been able to do an event at that level. So, it's a trickle effect. You're seeing it everywhere.
Right.
And you
across
just made
the
me
country.
think about it.
Yeah. And, that money, if used properly, and I think it is being used properly in Mecklenburg County, it will totally save lives.
Absolutely.
For sure. So we're incredibly fortunate to have it.
So you always have such a philanthropic heart. And like you said, you're not going to be leaving Charlotte. You're going to be extremely engaged. What are some of the things that really pull at your heart and I think will get a lot of your time in the next several years?
Well, I serve on a lot of boards now, but I'll be rolling off most of them when I become a civilian, as they say. But my passion right now really lies with Dress for Success, Charlotte. I'm on the board there. I'm the secretary, but I am also co-chair of our capital campaign. That organization is all about financial empowerment and financial independence for women. And it is a workforce development model that works on job readiness, job acquisition, and job retention. And these women have an opportunity to stay with our organization through our professional women's group for a decade if they want to, forever if they want to. So we really help build the professional development of women and allow them to access jobs with family-sustaining wages to really uplift their entire family. And it's, we're well known for our suiting program, but that's a really, really small part of what we do. And we have incredible volunteers, HR professionals and coaches that really help these women on a one-to-one, really help them achieve their goals. It's like no other workforce development program that I've seen in Mecklenburg County. The financial education that we do with women is so powerful. And we have a study that shows that if you lift a woman out of poverty, she brings as many as 6 family members with her.
Isn't that amazing?
It's so powerful.
Yes.
And so I love that. I also work really closely with an organization called Carolina Farm Trust that's trying to break the cycle of food insecurity in Mecklenburg County. It works with local farmers to bring their farming, their produce, to people that need access to fresh food. And so
I
that's
love that.
I know, it's a great organization. So I've spent a lot of time, Zach Wyatt is the CEO of that group, and I spend time with that too. So those are the 2 big ones that I'm really passionate about right now.
You know, I'm so glad you just shared that. I've known you for years and I never knew that. And that is such a challenge in so many pockets of our community to be able to get your hands on fresh produce or any kind of organic food, and being able to have the opportunity to make healthy choices. We need to have Zach come to a breakfast event. I need to meet him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
most
I'm meeting him
definitely.
right after this, so I can definitely
See?
tell him we talked
There you
about
go.
it. But
I love that.
And it really, I mean, healthy food is so important to all aspects of health. And so if we could get that right, we would have much healthier population.
Totally. Absolutely agree. We're both huge Dress for Success fans. I had Emily Wheeler on a few weeks ago. I
She's
think
a rock star,
she
by the way.
She is an absolute rock star. You're the perfect person to be on that bus for this capital campaign.
Well, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of momentum now. And if you're out there, you should expect me to be calling or knocking on your door for a gift. Mm-hmm. So stand by.
I love that. We love when you come knocking on the door.
Thanks.
So I reached out to some of your friends
Oh,
and
goodness
community
gracious.
leaders. I'm not going to use any names so everyone can stay anonymous. But I thought it might be kind of fun to have you hear what a few people had to say about our friend Dena and
Okay.
how we love you. And so I thought you might like this. Someone you know very well said, I have to read this from my phone so I don't get it wrong, a tough and no-nonsense leader who can still smile and be respected by the community and the leaders that she works with. I loved that.
That's nice.
This I loved. A strong, unassuming leader who is vocal in her beliefs and quiet in her philanthropy.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't
That's
that so?
sweet.
I got chills
Yes.
when I got that one. I was like, that is so perfect. Courageous and kind. Love that. That's so you. So you. Authentic, inspiring, and a trailblazer.
Oh, I love that too. God, whoever those people are, I love them.
Well, they all love you. We all
That's
love
so
you.
sweet.
I thought those were such kind. I literally have a list there's a lot more on here, but I just wanted to share a few of them because you are a trailblazer and you are someone that this community has been so fortunate to have a leader like you and someone that is so engaged in every aspect of Mecklenburg County and wanting to throw your heart and your passion into making sure that this is a really great place to live.
Oh, thank you, Jen. Well, I love what I do. It's been my highest honor, an incredible honor to be able to serve as county manager for Mecklenburg County for almost, 11 and a half years. And, it's a job that gives you so much latitude that you can really make a difference if you use your time right and you build your relationships and you are passionate about things. You really can get people to help you and work with you to do incredible work. And so it's been a blast. I've had so much fun doing what I do.
Well, you're a gem.
Thank you. So are you.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. We're good gems together, aren't we?
Absolutely.
And we're a really lucky community that you're not leaving.
Oh, I'm not
and
going
that
anywhere.
you're here, and your mark is going to be equally as big and in different ways. And I'm very excited to be along on this journey with you to see what's going to be next.
Oh, thank you.
And it's just a privilege to have you come in and get a chance to sit down and talk with us before you are officially going into the sunset.
Well, I'm going into my second act,
Yes,
as they say,
second
and I'm
act.
excited
I like
about.
that.
Yeah, I'm excited about what that holds for me, and you get to do the things you want to do, not the things you have to do. So I still have some energy left. So we'll see what
A lot
what
of energy
happens.
left.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, this was great, Dena. Thank you. We love you.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.